Good morning. I want to welcome you to the fourth quarter installation of the Business Intelligence and Advanced Analytics program sponsored by the Data Warehouse Institute, local chapter, and NITEC, New York Technology Council. And today, as you've seen in the prospectus and perhaps in the confirmation, today's topic is dedicated to healthcare. And we're very pleased to have a number of very learned and powerful speakers with us today to address the healthcare analytics topic. What I'll say here very quickly is that we have these seminars quarterly, and the focus is business intelligence and analytics. And as I'll mention to you in just a few minutes, generally speaking, we talk about that technology in conjunction with very specific business domains. And again, today is healthcare, and it's a great timing and great opportunity for us because, as you know, so many dramatic changes are occurring in this industry. It's time we stop and take stock of what those changes are and principally ask ourselves, how might we prepare for that future? What am I doing today to prepare to be ready for those changes as they arrive? Quickly, myself and Donn Morrill, my counterpart at New York Technology Council, will brief you on today's program. We'll introduce you to the folks that make the program possible. I'll remind you once again, please to fill out the evaluation form. It's our only connection really to you. Our mission and really our success here is ensuring we understand what you want to hear from us and that we're delivering. And the sole means of that understanding of how we can serve you comes through that evaluation form. So please, that's all we ask, besides enjoying the coffee and the donuts, is to fill out the evaluation form. We'd much appreciate it. And then, of course, we'll describe today's program. First, the folks who bring this to you here, the production side of the house, we have two organizations that work together to do this. From the Data Warehouse Institute side, myself, John Deutsch, I'm the president of the chapter here, covering New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. I'm joined by a number of folks on the board. Here today we have Sharon Galitsky, who you met at the registration desk when you walked in from Merck, and also from Morgan Stanley, Mr. Steve Custer is here with me representing the Data Warehouse Institute. On the New York Technology Council side, we have the executive chairman, Donn Morrill, and founder of the organization. He's here. He'll be up in just a few moments. I serve Donn on the panel at NITEC as well. Quickly, so here's this organization. We hope that you're going to appreciate and find value in what you hear from us today. One question you might have is, how might you participate? And certainly, we're always looking for folks to join us, new members. Please ask myself or Donn for that. If you are a vendor, we encourage you to ask us about sponsorships. The sponsorship is the fuel that keeps this program going. And from a content standpoint, if you have a story to tell, and by that I mean a case history involving business intelligence, data warehousing, analytics, please come speak to us, because that is perhaps the most connective tissue in our program, is when someone stands up in front of you and says, okay, all of the academics beside, here's what we set out to achieve, and here is our experiences, and here's where we got hurt, here's what we learned, here's how you can learn from the experience. That case history is invaluable, so those who have that experience to share, please come see me or Donn. Would love to get you up here on a future program. Okay, in 2011, what we have decided to do in the Business Intelligence and Advanced Analytics track of our organization is to focus on the business domain, those business issues that drive the need for technology, that influence the types of applications and systems and solutions that are brought to bear. One of the things that part of our theme this year has been that business intelligence analytics have great shoes to fill, but oftentimes the fruits of their labor are fall short of the expectation of the business leaders who fund and provide the direction for those technology projects. And a big part of that reason, we believe, is because there is an inadequate vocabulary or shared set of concepts between the business, quote unquote, and the technologists within the organization. It's very difficult for the business to communicate to technology what it is that's needed to drive the business, to support the business, and therefore what the technology organization often delivers falls short or is of disappointment to the business community. Matter of fact, one of the statistics that both Gartner and the Data Warehouse Institute have determined is that less than 25% of the community for whom a business intelligence or analytics system was intended to use actually use the system. So in other words, 1/4 of the intended community actually has the opportunity or the means or even the interest to use the system for which many dollars and hours were spent in building. So we believe that by building that shared understanding between business and technology, we can help to close that gap. So with that in mind, we've produced a number of programs in different industries this year. Today, we're focused on healthcare. And if I'm in the audience, the questions that I have are here on the bottom of this page. We know, because we read the newspaper, we talk to one another, we're on social networks, that there is a number of changes afoot, both technological in change, policy, economic, and legislative. So what we're going to hear today, and what I will be doing, is trying to understand what future in healthcare analytics might I expect based upon the arrival and confluence of these separate drivers. And now I, once again, sitting in the audience, ask myself, well, what do I need to do today and tomorrow to prepare for those changes? I would say in the audience today, half of you are healthcare practitioners. The other half are on the technical side, technicians, implementers who serve the healthcare industry, right? So we both have a different point of view. Our speakers today know very well who you are, and they have customized their message to help you answer the question, how do I prepare? Also, it's not just us, right? We're not standalone in this effort to bring about the future for our organizations. There are other stakeholders in our organization. Who are those folks, and how do I engage them as a team to plan and implement these changes that are required to meet the future that we'll hear today? And our case history today, as we always have, this one will be particularly unique and powerful in that we have the Chief Medical Scientist from IBM Research for the IBM Watson project who will be here to tell you about the approach at IBM and the application of the Watson supercomputer and their experience at WellPoint in trying to bring some of these advanced principles to light within the healthcare real world and what their experiences have been. Okay, the agenda is a little bit different today. Again, we are very lucky to have our two speakers here today, and to ensure that we accommodate their time this morning, we're going to do the following. Myself and Donn will be off the stage here very quickly. I'll be followed by our first keynote, Mr. Mark Anderson, the founder and CEO of AC Group. And his topic is, how are companies using advanced analytics to transform healthcare? That's the headline of our program today. Following Mr. Anderson's talk, we'll then open up the microphones for Q&A for 15 minutes. By the way, it gives you an opportunity to sneak away to the restrooms or grab a cup of coffee. Following that, Dr. Martin Cohn, who reminds me that I'm to call him Marty, Chief Medical Scientist at IBM, will be up to talk about that Watson supercomputer and WellPoint experience at IBM and some of the vision and the experiences that IBM has encountered in the application of these technologies, followed by Q&A with Dr. Cohn. Information Builders, one of our vendor sponsors, has donated a Kindle, and we will draw for that Kindle at 11:15 here today. Please, if you'd like to participate in that drawing, pretty small audience, your chances are good, much better than the New York Lottery, of course, but not as good as having to pay taxes this coming year. Please offer your business card to Sharon, Donn, or myself. We'll collect it, we'll put it in a bag, and we'll draw it here. I'll ask Mr. Anderson or Dr. Cohn to draw from the bag. And then, please, a big part of our program here is networking. Get to know one another. Share your experience, your insights into the program here today, and please, we welcome you to stay, enjoy the coffee, and to do just that. Okay, second reminder, please, the evaluation form. That's all I ask. You know, you may have wanted half and half, and we didn't have that here today. That's fine. We want to know that. But principally, how is this program, its shape, its degree of content serving you? And I'm not asking you to be a market analyst to try to you know, apply your impressions across a larger body, but for you, how well did we do and what more can we do going forward? So please, if you would, make a note to yourself before you leave to fill that out and hand it to one of us here this morning. Quickly, a special thanks to our friends here at the New York, the New York Institute of Technology here, NYIT, for providing us this space here. You know, of course, we're not, it's important to us that we have a professional space, but funding is not something that comes easily to us. So NYIT, in providing this space to us, has done us, yourself, and the community a very big favor. We wish to thank NYIT. They are truly proving themselves to be a friend of the technology community here in New York. So thank you for that. Quickly, what is the Data Warehouse Institute, TDWI, followed by Donn Morrill, will be up here to tell you about NITEC. I would say two things. TDWI, the Data Warehouse Institute, it is both a local and a national organization. Local, it's this. It's you, it's your coming together to listen to our speakers today and to get to know one another. It's a local community who have a common interest in analytics, business intelligence, and data warehousing. Nationally, the Data Warehouse Institute is publications, lessons learned, research, analysis, how-to, dedicated to analytics and business intelligence and data warehousing. It's also research. A body of analysts work for the organization who can be tapped for their insights and their answers to very specific questions or obstacles that you might have. It's also 4 times a year a national conference. They call it a World Conference that occurs, I think, 3 times in the U.S. and once internationally. And we hope that what you find here today is of interest, so much so that you'd like to become a member of the Data Warehouse Institute or the New York Technology Council. Okay, and to help that side of the program, we wish to thank our sponsors, Information Builders, who also is the provider of our door prize here this morning, SyncSort, 1010 Data, and FYI Solutions. And Donn, please come on up and tell us about NITEC.
I'm Donn Morrill. I'm the Executive Director of the New York Technology Council. And for those of you not familiar with us, we're obviously a New York City-based trade association whose mission is to help small, mid-sized, and large technology companies grow and thrive here in New York. We work with local government, federal government, academia, and act as a resource for our member companies as they try and grow and encounter the typical problems that you would in New York when you grow your company, whether it be real estate, taxes, financing, immigration reform, a whole host of issues. We've got well over 300 member companies right now. We are a membership-driven organization. We have now 9 founding sponsors, and in 2012 we'll be producing over 40 events and seminars on various topics such as cloud computing, mobile computing, venture capital and other sources of financing, business operations, anything having to do with care and feeding of your technology company here in New York. Our 2011 sponsors, I'd like to give a quick thanks to the accounting firm of Eisner Amper, Google, TGP Associates, Verizon, and not coincidentally, Information Builders as well. Real quick, our upcoming event calendar. This Monday morning on December 12th, we have a federal action briefing. I was fortunate enough to, together with one of our partner organizations, CompTIA, do a fly-in to Washington, D.C. earlier in November to talk about issues at a federal level. We met with several key senators and congressmen and discussed issues of importance such as tax reform, immigration reform, cybersecurity, things of that nature. So next Monday morning we're going to be briefing our membership and the community on what's going on in Washington as it affects technology companies here in New York. On Thursday the 15th is our holiday cocktail reception, which is a 3-hour open bar at Rosie O'Grady's. That's always a popular one, so please go ahead and sign up for that early, as that one always sells out. On Thursday, January 5th, our cloud computing event track focuses on new techniques for protecting cloud data. That's a very hot topic. As you know, privacy and security in the cloud is of tantamount importance to companies, and we actually have some encryption experts from IBM talking about some incredible new research that's happening that will really help to alleviate some of the problems with data security in the cloud. And then on Monday, January 9th, we're partnering with Google and putting together a sci-fi technology showcase where we show some pretty interesting and cool technology that is either in market now or will be in market in the next 12 months that really take us in some places we haven't been before in terms of virtual reality, augmented reality, 3D modeling. It promises to be a great event. And you can find out all about those on our website at nytech.org.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Don.